What is it like to black out? Drugs, alcohol, medical issues, etc. Video on. Video off. Video on again. I've passed out from heat/fatigue before, and it's basically this. The video does the fade to black transition, and then it cuts to the next scene where you're on the ground. If you do it enough, with alcohol, your friends start to slowly disappear. Edit, I'm sober now, and life is much happier. Holy hell, did I feel that. Ditto. Waking up to the dread of 40+ notifications on your phone. Good lord. I remember this feeling of dread back in the day. I didn't even want to check my phone or social media. However, I've also woken up to job offers, dates, and great results from my blackouts from drinking in my 20s. I seem to get very confident and ambitious when I black out. Sometimes, it really worked out, but I don't suggest it. Sometimes you spend 6 grand at a strip club and can't remember it the next take until you look at your credit card bill. For me, who has, regrettably, blacked out drinking, it doesn't really feel like anything. You wake up having no memory of a certain chunk of the night before. It kinda sucks, because the only way you can know for certain what happened is to see a video/some pictures. But those are always embarrassing. This, specifically, is why I don't drink large quantities of alcohol anymore. People who don't black out can sometimes act like they don't believe you. Too. My boyfriend, a bartender, has never blacked out, and it took him years to see how troubling it was when I did, because I would have zero memory of entire parties, but people wouldn't think I was even that drunk. It's like falling asleep while still awake. Happened 3 days ago. This is it perfectly. When you are laying down and you don't realize you fell asleep until you wake up. Except when you wake up from a blackout, usually your first thought is, how did I get here? Then what was the last thing I remember? Then you hear from friends that you were hugging lampposts and being funny. You have no memories of this. People often confuse a blackout with passing out. Oh no. When you black out, you are still physically awake, but your short-term memory is gone. If you are ever with someone and are worried they have blacked out, ask them a simple question you know that they can answer. Then wait a few minutes and ask them again. Wait a few minutes and ask them again. Then do it again and again. If they keep answering the question, they don't remember you have been asking it and they are blacked out. If they say, dude, you've already asked me this many times, they are not. Blackout drunk is the only one I've experienced. One moment you are enjoying yourself. The next you are waking up with little memory of what occurred over the last few hours. You have to talk to others to stitch together what you do remember and try to work out what you did. A blackout is when your conscience goes into a witness protection program. Robin Williams. Shitty and scary. You wake up not knowing how you got there. You try to remember the last thing you can and piece together what happened. You usually acted like a complete ducking asshole between then and waking up. Yep, I used to black out at my dealer's house a lot. I would wake up not knowing what happened. For me, I was never an asshole to people, but usually got taken advantage of. Sometimes I would wake up naked or just in my panties not knowing what he or his clients did to me. You're completely unaware of anything until you wake up and you're confused as hell. I found the most disorienting thing was that initially, I had zero sense of how much time had passed. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. No clue, and it takes a little while to fully get your bearings. As it turned out, I only blacked out for about a minute. But during that time I still had enough time to have a dream. It felt like waking up from a deep sleep, but I had no idea about anything. That's how I feel when I take a nap. I wake up and have absolutely no idea how long I was out for. Shit, did I sleep into the next day? Is it just a few minutes later? Very weird feeling. I can imagine how scary/worrisome that would be if it wasn't sleep related. From John Mulaney, for those of you who don't know what that is. Blacking out is when you drink so much that your brain goes to sleep, but your body gets all eye of the tiger and soldiers on. I'll tell you about blacking out. It was always weird when I'd go out for the night with like some money and then black out and wake up with no money. It was even weirder though when I went out for the night with some money, black out, and wake up with more money, because that means that I earned money. That means that I traded goods and or services, which is scary, but sometimes I'd almost be proud of it, you know, like, wow, I turned $20 into $100. I'm a financial wizard. Like, I would like to give people money advice now, but I don't know how that would go, you know, like they would just be like, John, we're looking to get rich quick, and I'd be like, well, have you tried mixing daiquiris with Ambien? They're like, does that work? I'm like, it didn't not work, apostrophe. Blacking out is like time traveling. Forward a bit and not fun. It can be fun sometimes. It's cool when everyone's recollection of a great night comes back slowly over separate fragments of stories from multiple people coming together to form the full picture, but can definitely have the opposite effect if the night was complete shit. Not fun. First off, you don't remember anything, so you can't enjoy it. Second, the other physical symptoms you experience like nausea and vomiting are unpleasant. Definitely not fun. I blacked out due to low blood pressure caused by chemo-induced anemia. I was standing in the bedroom, talking with my wife. She tells me it was as if someone hit my off switch mid-sentence and down I went. 911 was called, but I had somewhat recovered by the time they arrived. 2 units of whole blood later, and I felt much better. After that, my next several chemo sessions included 1 or 2 units of blood as well until my red blood cell count stayed high enough that I no longer needed it. I blacked out during in-home hemodialysis a few times and a few times at the in-center. It's scary as duck. And a few times I thought I was dying. Basically, my vision would start to get black from the sides inward and you can't stand up, and your brain starts to go blank and your knees buckle under your weight if you're still standing. It freaked my wife out, and I woke up completely disoriented each time and completely drained. I also have been under anesthesia a bunch of times. It's way different. It feels like the time you missed never happened. Your brain's inner clock doesn't log it, as if you were asleep. Wake up and go through your phone to see what bullshit you did. First, where is this damn phone? More importantly, where are my glasses? I got blackout drunk a few times in college. IDK. It's not like a specific feeling. You're just enjoying yourself one day, and then all of a sudden it's the next day and you're lying in bed with a sweaty stranger and your bra is missing for some reason. Medical. Epileptic seizures. My brain shuts down, not just blackouts. It also depends how bad it is. It can be from spastic in and out of consciousness to complete unconscious seizure. All there is a blackness from my eyes not functioning when I'm semi-conscious. You wake up remembering random little flashes of the night before and feeling kind of nauseous, then hear stories about ridiculous things you said or did. Blacking out on drugs is very patchy. You'll remember small bits and pieces, and that's exactly how it feels while it's happening. You're either completely aware or you're 100% not. 1 second you're one place, the next second you're in another, wondering how the hell you got there. You can usually tell when someone is close / is currently blacked out on drugs. Blacking out on alcohol is why I weirder. You'll be pretty awake while you're blacked out. Physically and mentally you'll be rather present. Sometimes people won't even know you've reached blackout. You'll make very stupid decisions and remember almost none of it once you've come to it, but during, you'll feel as if you won't forget a thing. Blacking out due to medical issues almost always causes a lack of memory of the entire occurrence. 1 second you're awake, next second you're waking up, completely unaware of what's just happened. As far as I can tell, when you're blackout drunk, you're still sort of functioning. It's just your brain is so damaged at that point that your memory stops recording. So when you try to recollect the event, there's nothing there because your brain was unable to form a memory. I don't know how true that is, but it's an explanation I've heard before. It's consistent with my experience. I have been blackout drunk before, but a video of me that I cannot recollect shows me functioning as though I'm just very drunk. To be honest, it was kind of disturbing to see. I equate it more to your brain stops worrying about short-term memory and focuses on keeping you alive. I've blacked out a few times and seen plenty of people black out. With some people, I can tell what point they won't remember anything. With my brother, when he starts repeating stuff every 5 minutes and keeps saying it is what it is, I know he's not gonna remember any of that. If you want to black out, drink a lot in a short amount of time. If you don't want to black out, space it out. You remember stuff, then you wake up, then you discover additional stuff was done in between. I've successfully done entire quest lines in Skyrim while blacked out. I'll wake up, remember I wanted to do something in game, open it up, and find that like 7 quests have already been done, with zero recollection of doing them. I was standing at the printer at work. At the time I was 58 and 98 lbs. I was suffering from anorexia nervosa and was truly at death's door. I was certain if I hit the floor and stayed there it'd go to the hospital and they would make me eat. So when I blacked out I climbed my way back up the printer. I don't remember anything until a week later, but I know I didn't go to the hospital then. Hope you're doing better. I once blacked out from taking too many laxatives, had some head issues, and my parents heard me fall in the bathroom. I covered it up and said everything was good, and they never found out what actually happened. Hugs to you. Hope you're doing well. Terrifying. I used to drink a lot, and I was all too familiar with blacking out. I would be at a bar and suddenly be waking up in my bed, having no idea how I got there or what I did while blacked out, and then I would do it all again that same night. It's like having a hole in your memory. You know something is there but just can't find it. I've blacked out a couple of times while peeing. Micturition syncope I guess is a thing. Both times I got nauseous very fast and blacked out seconds later. The first time I was camping and it was pitch black. I couldn't figure out what was touching my face until I realized it was the ground. Got a nasty bruise from that one. The second I fell face first onto the toilet. 0/10 can't recommend. A few people have mentioned passing out while going to the bathroom. Maybe this was it. Fainting in the woods at night sounds scarier. Has only happened once where I took benzos to fly and drank a lot before they were completely out of my system. It was such an eerie feeling with how crystal clear the blank was when trying to remember. It wasn't like normal nights where things just get fuzzy or fragmented. It was like a complete stop on my memory. Your brain right now is doing two things. 1. Processing information from both internal and external stimulus and responding appropriately. You're reading this right now and probably having an inner dialogue with yourself, so you understand what you're reading. Totally normal. 2. Recording everything happening, so you can recall it later as a memory. Blacking out is when you're so ducked up your brain can't do both, so if it has to pick one it goes with the former. Because you don't really need the latter to live. While your brain isn't recording you can carry coherent conversations with people and do a lot of things that seem normal, but you'll have very limited memory of it. Or none at all. This brought back awful memories of blacking out. Waking up and thinking I just drank a bit too much, only to be told I was stripping on a lawn and trying to fight people. So I guess that's what it's like. Not to mention feeling guilty about the embarrassing ways I acted the numerous times I blacked out. For the rest of my life. Sometimes I wonder if I have an allergy to any hard alcohol. I seem to only tolerate beer/wine. Hello. Me. My rock bottom was waking up in my birthday suit climbing up and down stairs without any idea about where I was. Turns out it was my friend's, fortunately largely empty, apartment complexer. My friends had left me downstairs, lift not working, and too heavy to carry up. Tried to fight two of them and punched a cabbie. Anyhow, only beer since. Can't handle anything above 6 to 7 drinks if hard alcohol is involved. Like I know I can handle 5, but by the time I get to 5 I'm convinced of my invincibility and continue drinking, only to repent it the morning after. They feel different from one another. I've blacked out for no explained reason before, and as I came to, I could hear everyone yelling my name, and I felt like I was waking up from a dream. I felt extremely relaxed and comfortable, and I felt really warm. I've blacked out by choking myself, the blackout game, when I was a teen, and I woke up, and I felt like my whole body was vibrating. Again, kind of felt like waking up from a dream. I've blacked out several times from drinking way too much. That is just simply like a period of time never happened. Blackout and wake up later, and you have no idea what happened in between. It's not fun. You don't remember anything, but since you were drunk you did do some dumb shit. If you did something bad to someone you can never properly apologize for it since, well you did, but you didn't do it, since you have no active memory. Also your knowledge of that night will be as much as your friends are willing to tell you, and if they don't you will not know. Blacking out is like being a detective for a crime that you committed, but have no knowledge of. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.